reviewed from ECF, from VapeNReview.com. And I've got just a simple average run-of-the-mill juice review today of a really nifty juice. This is the third different flavor that I've tried from Don over at Backwoods Brew, and this is Don's RY4, and it's at 24 milligrams. If you've never ordered from Backwoods Brew, it is a little bit different experience. He doesn't have a website just yet. He's in the process of working on it, so just hold tight. But in order to order from Don, you do have to shoot him an email or send him a PM or post in the thread over at ECF in the e-cigarette supplier section. One of the most friendly guys. He remembers things about customers. That's one of the coolest things. I was actually still in the Philippines when I put in this order, and I sent him an email and said, "Hey Don, I'm thinking about trying this. Tell me about this flavor." And over the course of that exchange, I think in a half an hour, 45-minute period, we probably exchanged over a dozen emails back and forth. So he's super cool, super responsive. He remembered that the last time I ordered, I was out of the country. Asked me if I was in the country, where I was at, if I was back in the Philippines, if I was at home. So it was a really great experience from a vendor. It's nice that, vendors still treat customers like people and customers, and he doesn't just want to sell you stuff and take your money. He wants to give you a quality experience all the way around. I've also got to give him props. His shipping and mixing time is incredibly fast. He mixes to order, and the stuff goes out like the next day if you order late. If you order early, it's probably going to go out that day. I ordered this late on a Thursday night. When I woke up back in the United States Monday morning, this was actually waiting for me in my mailbox. So super fast shipping from New York to Minnesota. A little bit of a hats off to the United States Postal Service. They did Don some favors there, I think. But overall, the experience you're going to get ordering from Backwoods Brew is top-notch. But enough about Don and how awesome he is and how much I love his juice. Let's talk about this particular one. So I've got the Silver Bullet today, and I finally upgraded to the Hot Spring. For those of you that have an older Silver Bullet, you take a look in here, you probably have just an aluminum spring. You can see here now, you can kind of see I'm all the way up to the Copper Spring, the Hot Spring. It's a couple dollar upgrade, and it does make a fairly significant difference when you're at 3.7 volts, which is what I'm at right now. 18650 in the battery tube. Today I've got a lower resistance atomizer from Mad Vapes. Actually reads out at about 2 ohms, so it's not the lowest resistance atomizer I've used, but adding the Hot Spring has made a big difference with this slightly lower resistance atomizer. I have noticed a bit warmer vapor, and I'm getting more vapor out of it. So it's worth the $2.99 plus $1.50 or whatever shipping it was. It cost me about $4 to get it from Alt Smoke. So if you don't have the Hot Spring, check it out. But back to the juice. We'll first talk about the vapor, then we'll talk about the flavor, and we'll talk about throat hit, and we'll get you out of my hair. So here we go. A couple of drops in the old D-tip. Let's do it. So vapor, you can see, is really great. Don's juices all vape excellently at lower resistances, lower voltages or higher voltages. Vapor production is always going to be phenomenal. He does use his own kind of special blend of PG and VG. If you really want, he will customize it and make it 100% VG, 100% PG. You want to specify a certain blend, he will do that, so don't feel like, if you need all VG, you can't get it from him. Don is out there to serve, but he does kind of, use his own standard mix, and he doesn't exactly specify what that is. There definitely is some VG here. Nice thick vapor. I'm going to give this about a 4 1/4, 4 1/2, somewhere in there. Really vapes great, especially here at the low resistance. It's a fantastic vapor. So vapor, you can see it, I can feel it. It's excellent. On to the flavor. Let me take a little shot here. The flavor is nice. It's not your typical RY4 flavor, and part of that is Don's unique fresh cut tobacco base. All his tobacco flavors kind of have this fresh cut. It's not the processed cigar, cigarette, pipe tobacco flavor that we get so accustomed to, especially if you're just getting off the analogs. So it's Don's special blend of fresh cut tobacco flavor, and then it does have a sweetness, not your typical vanilla caramel kind of sweetness that you get with most of the other RY4s. I've tried just a couple of them, and I've just never really been a big RY4 fan, but I do like this stuff. You can see I'm doing all right here. I'm cranking through this bottle in a hurry. So the flavor, it's nice. It's kind of got that fresh cut tobacco, which is the base of all of his tobacco flavors, which is, I love it. It's fantastic. Then it's got a nice sweetness. Not really caramely, not really vanilla, but it's just nice and sweet. And then it's got a hint of spice to it, similar to like a Halo Freedom. Actually, this juice is very similar flavor-wise to Halo Freedom without the high price tag. So if nothing else, give this a shot for that reason if you're a big Halo fan. I could easily see Don stealing some customers with this juice. It's, like I said, it's not your typical RY4 flavor. I don't really feel, I haven't tried tons of RY4. I've only tried a couple different ones. But it's a unique, sweet, fresh-cut tobacco with just a hint of spiciness. Not cinnamony spice or, you know, straight clove spice, but just a little bit of, you know, you can tell there's some spice to it. And it's a great vape. I've actually been puffing on this thing all day for the last couple of days. Just dripping away. So the flavor's phenomenal. I love it. It's a great tobacco taste overall. Lastly, let's talk about the throat hit. And the throat hit's nice. It's not outrageous. I mean, it's not going to knock you out of your chair. It's not going to truly replace the feeling you get from an analog. But the throat hit here is really pretty nice. I'm going to give it about a 2 to 2.5 on the throat hit scale out of 5, which, you know, that's about where I personally like most of my juices, especially when we get into the sweeter, desserty flavors. You know, I prefer just enough throat hit to know. This is well past that. It's kind of middle of the road throat hit. So overall, I'm very pleased with Don's RY4. So if you've never been over to Backwoods Brew and shot Don an email or sent him a PM on the ECF and hit up the order thread and do it, he's got, I think, 10% off going on right now. He's normally got a pretty sweet discount going on, between 10, 15, 20% off. So you're always going to get a good deal. For me, it was about, I think it was like $19.50 or $20 and change for 30 mils of juice shipped. So I got a 15 mil bottle of the RY4 and a 15 mil bottle of the honey flu cured, because I love that stuff as well. If you've never tried it and you're interested, I've got a couple of other reviews on his honey flu cured and his cherry tobacco. Check those out as well. That's what I've got for you guys today. Hopefully one of these days I get my GLV2 back in hand. I feel like I've been waiting an astronomically long time, but what do you do? At the mercy of Jay and the United States Postal Service. I think it's been shipped. I don't really know. Hopefully we'll have that. That one's probably going to go to VapeNReview. And let me put in a quick plug here too. If you've never been over to VapeNReview and caught any of the videos over there, there's some really great stuff going on. There's juice reviews, mod reviews. I put up my first VapeNReview video recently, which was how to travel, my kind of tips and tricks for traveling both domestically and internationally with all your PV gear, what I do with my mods, how I pack and organize everything. So it's a really handy video, especially if you're getting on a plane anytime in the near future. So check it out, VapeNReview, so VAPEN review, REVIEW.com. You're not going to find that video on the YouTube. Everything at VapeNReview is exclusive content for VapeNReview. Again, Basilray from the ECF, from the YouTube, now from the VapeNReview. Today, just a quick juice review. Hopefully I didn't get too long-winded on Don from Backwoods Brew, his RY4 24 milligram juice. I will catch you guys around the internet.